Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and today we are going to be watching something that so many people have been waiting a very long time to see. Ash Ketchum from Pokemon versus Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! Death Battle. This is something that a lot of people would consider their childhood matchup out of all the matchups that exist, and we've literally known that this was coming for over a year at this point, so it does not surprise me that this matchup has built up an incredible amount of hype. I'm pretty sure my prediction video that I made for this matchup has the most amount of comments from like any of my prediction videos, and possibly the most amount of likes as well, which is kind of insane. However, I can say for myself that this is not really one of my childhood matchups. The show that's most similar to Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh that I watched the most as a kid was Bakugan. I also watched a lot of Chaotic. I know it's not exactly the same thing as these kinds of shows, but that was like the game based on a TV series that I played the most, that I actually physically played the most. I really enjoyed playing that game, and I enjoyed watching the series. Has anyone ever heard of Chaotic, or does anyone remember it? Let me know in the comments below. But either way, like for this matchup, this is not really a childhood matchup for me, but I can say that I am more into Pokemon than I am Yu-Gi-Oh! And I do prefer Ash over Yugi, generally speaking. However, as I've said in many of my videos at this point, the character that I prefer winning the battle is not the most important thing to me when it comes to the outcome by a long shot. I would much rather the character I prefer lose with a really rock solid conclusion rather than the character I prefer win that's basically just based on bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I much prefer. And I'm not saying this necessarily because I think there's no chance in hell that Ash could win this, but based on my understanding of these characters and like what I know in this moment, I think Yugi overall has a more overarching and all-encompassing advantage. I think there is the argument you can make for Ash's side generally having better speed or at least a faster play style, although I think similarly you can make the argument that Yugi's side is overall more powerful. But even still, if Death Battle analyzes them to be around the same or close enough, which is somewhat what I'm expecting as far as stats go, then I think Yugi's versatility, his hacks, his game-breaking capabilities are just much greater than Ash's. And I could list what these characters could do for so long. You know, I kind of already did that in my prediction video, but these characters have so much going for them. So overall, I think what's best to do is just wait to see what Death Battle says, what they put a lot of emphasis on, and then go from there. Because if they genuinely believe that Ash would win and they have a really good reason for it, then, you know, even better for me because I like Ash more, but we'll just have to wait and see. So without further ado, let's get to watching. Alrighty, here we go.
Ash Ketchum versus Yugi.
The biggest question from the playground. Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh?
Essentially, yeah.
I'm Boomstick.
Again, not my playground debate, but a huge one.
A death battle.
Alright, let's go.
Hello there. Welcome
Hello.
to the world of Pokemon.
Thank
All
you.
the kids get their first one at age 10. If you don't
Well,
sleep
where was
in,
mine?
Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town.
Ash
Yeah, I
wanted
guess
to be a
I'm.
Pokemon
I didn't get
master,
one.
though he
I would.
didn't
Where's my
really
licky
know what
tongue?
that
Come
meant.
on.
How about taking down your rivals to be the very best?
National Ash Ketchum
No
Day,
one ever
cool.
was. Better than Gary and his dumb groupies.
A lot of likes.
Well, Ash knew he'd
Good man.
find his answers at the Pokemon League tournament.
So Oak hooked him up with the electric
My
mouse,
first Pokemon, by the
Pikachu.
way, was
And wait,
Oshawott
he's
from
your
one of the
problem
games,
now,
like Gen
stupid.
5, I think it was.
Pikachu was a lot.
Oh,
the new
yeah.
duo had a rocky start, but after an intense first day together, the rest, as they say, is history.
25 seasons, over 1,200 episodes.
Jeez,
and
that's
the
still more than
cornerstone
One
of
Piece.
2000s culture. Ash spent decades as a 10-year-old on the great Pokemaniac journey.
We should
Good for
note
him.
We are prioritizing the anime that Ash is from, which often differs from the original games that inspired.
Okay, good to
Ash is
clarify.
equipped with tons of Pokeballs and an all-knowing Pokedex.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a Pokemon. But in a fight, Ash usually chooses Pikachu. Get
I mean,
the yellow
yeah,
red
that
enough
makes sense.
voltage And you'll regret it. Even ground types that would be immune
The screen
to
always goes like
electric
so
attacks
dark,
in the
or
game
sometimes goes
can't
so
stop what
dark
this
when,
Pikachu
you know, the
dishes
electric
out.
stuff
Yet
happens.
somehow Ash is just fine after repeatedly getting zapped by this same electricity. over time, Pikachu
Ash is
learned
doing things he has
Volt
no
Attack,
right
Electro
doing,
Web,
but, you know,
Electro
whatever.
Ball, and
Pikachu, use Thunderbolt. The
Yeah,
perfect
lots of electric
attack
attacks.
for outgoing flamboyant thieves and air balloons.
Hey, guys.
Looks like they're blasting off again.
Uh-huh.
so clearly the anime doesn't follow the game rules. Like when Pikachu shot himself with his own thunder while on Swellow, who, you know, is vulnerable to lightning.
Right.
But somehow
But then that didn't
he used
happen,
thunder
yeah.
as a super armor. He even learned how to deflect attacks by just spinning really fast. Whee!
All kinds of attacks or like
Speaking of
just
fast,
projectiles?
Pikachu has intercepted lightning, but Quick Attack increases that speed even more.
And his
Oh,
Iron
yeah.
Tail really pairs well with Ash's offensive style. The guy plays crazy, opting for big damage over stalling.
Ash's style is so unusual that when a robot scanned his tactics, it exploded.
As the great
I
philosopher
mean, is it really
put it,
that
"If it
unorthodox?
works, is it still stupid?"
Pikachu's bond is magnetic.
Great
It brings
philosopher,
in new
yeah.
allies. Misty, Brock, Serena, just to name a few. Underneath
Right, yeah, the big
stubbornness
ones.
and crispy bikes, they are loyal friends.
Just like Ash's Pokemon. They're not just collecting dust in a shiny hunting box.
No.
Ash's League ID won't let him carry more than 6 at a time, but if he needs them, they'll all come running.
Okay, so they are including everything. Good that we know that. This is what I expected, but it was still a question to answer.
One time, his Weasel got frozen while using Aqua Jet, which is fine. Now he's using Ice Aqua Battery.
Okay, yeah, so use the attack against them, yeah.
Status effects and heal with synthesis.
But
Good, very
sometimes a
good.
menace. Yeah, so you got a big, scary Darkrai. Eat this leaf blade, Smeargle victim! Or that's what I would say if Tobias did an action replay of frickin' Latios. Give my man a win, 4Kids.
Well, 4Kids just did the localization. They didn't write the
Right,
show.
yeah.
They just get me heated. Almost as much as Infernape's Flare Blitz. Then I'll set my Inferno to overdrive, get my revenge, and Incineroar.
Right.
Ha
Yeah, very,
Had a
very
final
nice.
passion for reaching the top ASAP, but Charizard wasn't on board. Pursuing pride over packs,
Now we're getting
Ash
into
lost
the
Viridian
really
Force
big
for the
guys.
trees and fumbled the Indigo League.
Harsh lesson, but one he needed. Ash
You
started
always
bonding with
need your
Pokemon at a
failures,
deeper
right?
Level, and that friendship motivated them to dodge light speed moves like Solar Beam and Psybeam.
Charizard came around too. He's the last one you want to see on the field. Even if you have a Blastoise like Gary, Ash will call for the most unexpected signature move.
Seismic Toss!
Right.
The people's elbow of Pokemon.
Like Machamp.
Charizard's so strong, his flamethrower melts boulders.
Uh-huh.
The Pokemon world is wild.
Ash's
Yeah.
Pokedex spells it out.
Always
Vanillish causes
is.
blizzards. Magikarp leaps over mountains and into space. Dusk
From Magikarp.
souls into the spirit world.
Oh, and Pikachu
Spirit
cleared a
World.
storm as wide as an island. Gotta catch 'em all. Surfetch, Butterfree, Heracross, Scraggy, Lycanroc, Palpatine,
So many.
Torkoal, Snivy.
With new regions soar new flying.
Wonder if we can
types
get an
like
extended
Pidgeot.
edition of
On
that.
land, Ash has physical offense like Melmetal and Crocodile, and Gibble will drop Draco Meteors on anyone.
Jeez, a lot of
You
information.
want physical?
But look, there kinda
Look
has
at
to be.
Ash. This twerp somehow carried around a Cosmoem, which canonically weighs over a ton.
Yeah,
Oh, and this
and you can
huge
throw
log
the
is
tree or the
basically
log
a
or
whole
whatever.
tree. He chucked it like it was nothing.
Yeah, everyone
Ash
knows
can
about that
choose his
one.
own hands if he wants, and he does a lot. Maybe his secret is
Yeah, what are you trying to do
watching
against
Minnesota
Mewtwo, bro?
Vikings.
Resilience is the bare minimum to HMO1 cut it in the tall grass. Humans and Pokemon must protect and enrich each other's lives.
Like Mimey, the Mr.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, hi,
Mime
Mimey.
Who mind boggles you with Reflect, Light Screen, and Psychic. Yep, that Mr. Mime. The stepdad
So
who
some
Ash
decent
caught in a Pokeball
defense.
and brought home.
That's good.
Oh, so that's how it works.
Ash figured out new ways to bond with his pals with Aura. It's a life force that interacts with souls and links Ash with Lucario.
This
Interacts
Jackal
with
excels at
souls,
CQC
okay.
And shoots steel beams and aura spheres.
Wondering if this is gonna be
And with
important, 'cause they
Mega
brought, like,
Evolution,
Spirit Realm and
Lucario's
Souls
power
now.
surges enough to defeat champion Cynthia's Garchomp.
A Mega would have been handy at the Safari Zone when Ash accidentally caught 30 Tauros. And he keeps hugging them. Ash, they're bulls.
Yeah.
Ash genuinely loves his little guys, but boy does
Well,
it suck
I would
to
hope
see
so.
him lose the Pokemon League over and over again. Kid, just turn the hat backwards and lock in.
Ash's strength is not in battle theory, but his nurtured bonds. He knows Pokemon feelings better than
It's a
anyone.
cool shot,
With
funny
Greninja,
shot.
Ash learned to synchronize their senses and movements, transforming him into Ash Greninja.
It comes
Right,
with huge
yeah, that
power
weird
increase,
thing.
But there's a catch. Ash shares Greninja's pain. A small price to pay for the ultimate water shuriken.
Ash Greninja ran the ones with Champion Diantha's Mega Gardevoir. And just a normal Gardevoir can conjure black holes.
Ash's
Uh-huh.
Pokemon and teamwork get along like rice balls.
I mean, we're
and
still
jelly
not
filled
done.
donuts.
There's still
They
higher
saved
stuff
the
to talk
world from
about.
Lysander, who tried to kill all life.
He said he
They
resisted
fought
mind
the
control.
giants, the Reggie kind, not the New York ones. Who halted Reggie Gigas, who can tow entire regions.
Ash's team battled Steven Stone and Alon, who fought the terraforming primal forms of Groudon and Kyogre.
Hi, Kyogre.
Don't get me started on Alon. Ash did everything right. But no, Greninja still lost to his Charizard after only getting hit 3 times. How does Blastburn beat Water Shuriken?
You just got to enjoy the show, bro.
Homesick 4 Kids weren't even around anymore when this aired. Regardless, after his loss at Kalos, Ash traveled to Alola and beyond to train. And thanks to some really delicious soup, his new Gengar...
Yeah, hi Gengar. This could be
Hi,
important.
Gengar. He haunts foes with G-Max Terror, or even swallows them up. I bet it smells nasty in there.
Ash and Pikachu also...
It doesn't really feel like it would
with
smell
their
like anything,
Z
but
move.
okay.
All they need is a power ring, some JoJo...
Not that I would
poses,
know,
and
to be
Thunderbolt
clear.
will evolve into...
10 million volt Thunderbolt. This Rainbow Lightning is their ace. You see this coming? You're cooked. Absorb electricity? Cooked. Fused with an Ultra Beast? Cooked.
Turning so much that monsters from another dimension are nothing to him. Naganadel is a poisonous sniper, and Solgaleo is basically the sun god.
Right.
A legendary Pokemon whose Sunsteel Strike lights up the universe.
Ash got a god in his bag for just being a nice dude. Smell you later, Gary.
In fact, when Ash and friends band together, they can halt Dialga's Roar of Time. And Dialga literally controls the concept of time. Is there a legendary Pokemon he hasn't befriended?
But it all started with Pikachu.
I mean, that's pretty impressive, although power-wise,
in the Tournament of
might be a little
Champions
vague.
and Albarn, Ash faced the #1 trainer. Finally, after 3,000 years, we're free.
3,000
Kids,
years?
Let my boy win. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah,
Ash
good job,
did his
man.
best,
Good job.
And he had no regrets. Now free to hand over his torch to new bright-eyed trainers.
Ash realized that to him, a Pokemon Master was someone who was friends with every Pokemon. So,
Well, if
he
that's what it
and
means to
Pikachu
him,
threw a stick in
great
the
for
air
him.
And walked the way it landed, because in the world of Pokemon, the journey continues.
Very nice. All right, I enjoyed that. And now we move to Yugi.
Theorists have tried to solve the mystery of ancient Egypt. What was the secret to such a glorious civilization?
Oh, aliens,
Time
of course.
Travel, the divine hand. Aliens?
Yeah, there it
They were
is.
gamers.
Egyptians
I mean, I
played
should have seen that
games
coming,
with
yeah.
sorcery. These magical ceremonies punish dark hearts with swift death. The Shadow Game.
Right.
No, Wiz. They were banished to the Shadow Realm.
Sadly, the way of the Shadow
mean,
Games
yeah.
was lost across time and the pieces of the Millennium Puzzle.
Ooh.
It's said the one who solves the puzzle
Oh,
will
I
pass
wonder who
judgment
that
on
is.
Evil. And in the modern day, Yu-Gi-Moto reassembled
Oh, I thought it was Light
and
Yagami.
wished for a friend.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Turn that jam up! Yugi was a shy kid that helped
Friends with
run
Bo
his
Bo Bo Bo
grandpa's
Bo Bo
game
Bo.
shop.
Wow, good job,
Little did he
man.
know that completing the puzzle would link his spirit to an ancient
Hi,
Yami,
Yami.
always
Or
willing to
Atem.
lend Yugi a hand, and always on demon time while doing
Yeah.
so. He's anime Jigsaw. Yami wants to play a shadow game.
Whether it's
Could never get
roller
into the
hockey,
Saw movies,
Mario
man.
Party
Jesus
with Squirrel
Christ.
Form, or the game that would take his world and ours by storm, Duel Monsters.
Yep.
It's a summoner's war. Time to send monsters to the graveyard and take your foe down to 0 life points.
Right.
When Yugi's grandpa was kidnapped by the deranged CEO Seto Kaiba, Yugi knew it was time to knock him down the only way he knows how, playing a children's card game.
I mean, those
For
things
Bell,
look pretty
Kaiba
cool,
was given a
I
penalty
think.
game. Lose or cheat against Yami at your own peril. With the puzzle,
Right,
Yami
yeah.
can punish you in some seriously messed up ways.
Dark
Illusions
Yugi.
of being set on fire, swapping your soul, or the infamous mind crush.
Swapping your
The Millennium Puzzle
soul.
does far more than force hallucinations. It brings monsters to reality.
Right, yep,
forms
there you
barriers,
go.
Manipulates probability and seals away spirits.
You can't buy this.
Seals away
It and
spirits.
6
Okay,
other
so
Millennium
interesting
items
soul
are
stuff
juiced up
already
by
on both sides.
ghosts.
Despite Yami's retribution, Yugi wasn't aware of this darker half. Yami had amnesia, so he didn't know himself either. But after
Yeah,
a
very
run-in with
convenient.
enemy Millennium Ring user Dark Bakura and some seriously hardcore LARPing, Yugi and Yami learned each
Yeah,
other's
as-
shtick
as you
and
do.
made the dynamic duo.
With friends Taya, Tristan, and their left leg Joey,
You gotta
and
love
Yami
Joey.
were ready for anything.
Because Yugi had a great early deck. Monsters for offense, spells for effects, and traps
Nice
for
sound
setups.
effects.
Oh, and Exodi... Oh, there they go.
Yeah, Exodia's a
Yugi's
little...
deck is so
yeah.
good. Why isn't it the meta? Put me in, coach. Face my 2,000 card deck.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
be too quick to judge.
Jeez,
Yugi's
look at
a
all that
very clever
text.
strategist. His style works best at maximizing the use of so-called terrible cards.
And cool story,
And we got even
Riz,
more.
But what's he gonna do about the 3 blue eyes Kaiba's
They're
got
including
him in his
Hirakti.
dome?
Wow, okay.
Summon the monster card Karibo and have it multiply. With a
Right, the
1000
multiplication
soul
for
meat shield,
Karibo.
a dragon's breath is a gentle breeze.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know
Somehow that
Yugi
works.
had that dog in him, but I'm about brute force. Buster Blader and Celtic Guardian.
I mean, it's like
are
infinite
sick-nasty
multiplication too,
swordsmen.
isn't it, or
Summon
something?
Skull
Like,
shoots
it's
bolts of
ridiculous.
lightning, and the giant soldier of stone can destroy moons.
Time Wizard's better. It's a living clock that fast forwards or rewinds a local
Yeah.
area of time, turning monsters to infants or wizards into wise sages.
Speaking of wizardry,
Okay,
you can't
interesting.
have a Yugi deck without his right hand.
That could
Dark
actually
Magician
be
and
important.
His apprentice, Dark Magician Girl.
Both are masters
Yeah, hey, Dark
of
Magicians.
magic, and Yugi often pairs them with the damage redirecting magic cylinder. Now that's
Yeah.
thinking with portals.
There's support
Redirects, like, the
monsters,
damage
too.
just
Catapult
because,
Girl is a
yeah.
bot with a cannon that
Like, just as
literally
simple as
launches
that.
other monsters. And when Yugi comboed it with Gaia and Swords of Revealing Light, which immobilizes monsters,
Yep.
they brought down an entire fortress.
Lots of cool combos he can
Wait,
make.
That's not how the card game works. Is he cheating?
Well, we're prioritizing the manga and anime over anything else, which can differ from the real world. card
Yeah.
Yugi also
Well, I mean, I'd
has
imagine
tons
it
of
at this
spell
point, yeah.
cards. Monster Reborn resurrects a fallen friend. Turn Jump is a time skip, and Pot of Greed lets Yugi draw 2 more cards.
Yeah,
like
we all know Pot of Greed.
which lets him draw 2 more cards. Like
If things get dicey, he has more trap cards to level the field.
But
like
how many
Dimension
times can he
Fix, which
use a
reflects
single
damage
card,
directly
though?
back at the opponent's life points.
And if his monsters and life points get wiped, he can just press Control-Z with Mirage Ruler to get them all back.
Pair
Right.
these cards with Yugi and Yami's teamwork, and nothing could stand in their way. Not even the game's own creator, Pegasus.
Get this, Pegasus can read minds. So in their duel, Yugi and Yami kept swapping souls Freaky Friday style, trusting each other to pick up on the strategies they left
Okay.
behind. And the mind reader was stumped. Yeah, he cheated.
No, Pegasus was reading.
I mean, I
their
get whatever
minds.
works.
Regardless, Yugi and Yami are an excellent dueling pair. Yami trusts Yugi to improve on his plans, while Yugi expects Yami to be his bolder half.
Right.
They're not just smart. These card-slinging geeks are somehow expected to be fit enough to dodge lasers, resist getting their souls ripped out, and survive attacks from duel monsters. Even the most common duel monster can cause tsunamis, rain down meteors, and wreck cities.
And all of this power
Pretty
culminated
powerful.
in Battle City.
Not the
hosted
most
by
powerful, but,
Kaiba
you know,
Corp.
nothing to scoff
Kaiba
at.
really wanted that salty run back against his rival.
Salt only surpassed by Yami's biggest hater, Merrick, who wanted the 3 Egyptian god cards to take him out. These cards were Slifer, the Electric Dragon,
Yep.
Ra, the God Phoenix,
Yes, and Obelisk,
who strikes with the power of infinity.
This was a different
Whatever the hell that
game
means in this
altogether,
case.
But Yugi was starting to stand on his own 2 feet.
So Yami and Yugi kept dueling on in a battle city that never wants to end, or stop bullying Joey. But to claim the Egyptian gods, Yugi and Yami had to face them in duels, pulling off some ridiculously high IQ plays.
Such
When
as...
battling Slifer, they used a handful of weak cards to create an infinite combo of attacks that went past the god's limits.
And
Oh.
later, Yugi combined Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl's magic into Black Burning magic, promptly defeating Ra.
This ain't new
I
for
mean,
the magicians.
that's one of the
In
toughest
movie
ones there
Beyond
is,
Beyond
so-
Time, they did something similar against Paradox. It's kind of crazy that together, the magicians can defeat the 10-star gods, which are way stronger than mid-tier monsters that are 5 to 9 stars.
Mid-tier
Which
cards
can.
aren't pushovers. Darkhold Dragon is a sentient black hole, planet alignment moves solar systems,
Okay.
and Jaden's Glow Neos destroyed a relativity field that spawned an entire universe.
But at the
And we're
top
talking about
would be
stuff
the
stronger
great
than
evil
that.
God Zork, who showed
Yeah,
us
Zork
the
Necrophades,
existence
right?
of the realm of darkness. It was time
Necrophades,
for Yugi to
Necrophades,
finish the
whichever one.
puzzle of who Yami really is.
If the monsters weren't real before, they sure were now. Everyone has soul energy, Ba, which manifests as Ka, or a spirit. When used in tandem with the bonds of his cards, Yugi can will duel monsters into reality, even drawing anyone he wishes by believing in
Yep,
the
Destiny
heart
draw,
of
heart of the cards, yep.
I knew it! He's been cheating all this time. He doesn't
Well, it's
just
the
make
probability
up
stuff,
rules,
right?
He's stacking his deck.
Not at all. For Yugi, drawing the card he needs isn't just luck, it's an actual skill that he developed. It's even expanded in following series like GX and 5Ds.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'd be the king of games too if I could just decide I have a royal flush every round.
Whatever. Yami rediscovered his Egyptian past.
I mean, we all
his
develop our
multiple
own
lifelong
skills in
bonds,
the series,
and
in the
his
different
real
series,
name,
right?
Atem.
Just the way it works. Oh, yeah,
Claiming his place
Atem.
as the
There we go.
ruler of the afterlife, Atem fused the Egyptian god cards to summon Harakti,
Yes.
the creator of light.
She's the ultimate duel monster.
She can
who
one-shot
banished
Zork.
and all of his scary legendary darkness for good. The epitome of, screw you, I win.
No kidding. For Hirakti created Yu-Gi-Oh's multiverse with that same light. Judgment had passed.
Okay.
Across many duels, evil was vanquished. There was only one more thing left to do.
A post-game boss duel between Yugi and Atem.
Their farewell
Oh,
was
yeah, okay,
both
that's cool.
climactic and bittersweet. Yugi had grown as a duelist and a person. His victory proved that he no longer needed Atem's help to be his bolder half.
Even when Atem was an entire dimension away or busy slapping the end of existence, he and Yugi would always be bros. Okay, it should have been me.
I was waiting for
I
that.
called you a cheater. I was jealous. You're so cool.
Yugi moved on to a career in game design and passed the torch to future duelists.
Yep.
He
Hey,
would be
Jaden.
remembered as the
I
greatest
keep just saying
duelist
hey to
there
everyone.
was.
Except to Kaiba, who tried to ascend to the afterlife to rematch Atem. Goes to show you that money can't buy you happiness, but it sure can buy you a sweet rocket
Can buy you a
ship.
lot of
There'll
stuff.
always be another story, another duel, another game. And you won't find yourself a better opponent than the King of Games.
The King of Games, yes.
All right,
Okay.
the combatants are set.
Now
We've
we're
run the
here.
data through all
A
possibilities.
lot of stuff to
Before
think
we
about.
start, let's lay some ground rules.
We're treating this as a real-time fight, much like typical battles in the Pokemon anime and duels later on in the Yu-Gi-Oh!
That makes sense.
And given that the rules of Pokemon and duel monsters are clearly incompatible, we'll allow them to summon anything that's reasonably available to them.
It's
Yeah, that's
time to
basically
get
what I
a
already picked up on.
Death battle!
Okay, and let's pause it there. Okay, so this is a little difficult to think about. So the one thing that I was thinking about, like the end of Ash's analysis, I mean, I'm going to be jumping all over the place for the record, I think, but the one thing that I remember from the end of Ash's analysis was that there was the character that they beat that, you know, had like control over the concept of time. I imagine that's probably more in the sense of a speed feat rather than like a necessarily a power feat. I mean, like the character obviously was still incredibly powerful. Like we're still talking like, you know, legendary Ultra Beast level and all of that, but still like that might be trying to imply a measurable speed. Maybe. I mean, they definitely talked about light speed or faster than light scaling for both sides. For Yugi and his side, I'm not sure if they talked that much about speed necessarily, but there is also Hirakti who, you know, created the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Multiverse with the attack that was used to beat Zork, right? So that's probably something you can scale both in terms of strength and speed. I'm just not sure if I remember anything like outwardly about like immeasurable speed. Although then again, they didn't say that outright for Ash either. That's just something that I'm thinking about. So I'm not 100% sure what they're going to say in terms of speed. But again, like with the rules that they were saying, like, you know, it's not really going to be like a turn-based thing or whatever. It's just like more like real time. So, you know, I still want to say Ash's play style and just like what he's most used to and like known for doing, I think is a little faster, especially with, you know, Yugi's setups that take a little longer. But even still, as far as like direct speed, I don't know if they're trying to imply a major difference between them. As far as power, however, again, Hirakti with the multiverse creating attack that can take out Zork, that sounded like it was stronger than anything that they talked about for Ash, unless I just missed something. They were even saying that, like, you know, was it birthing a universe or something about a universe for like lower tier characters that, you know, Yugi just has stronger monsters than that, right? Like the 3 Egyptian gods. Also, the whole thing about Obelisk with like infinite attack power or whatever, like what the hell does that mean in this case? What are we doing here? So it's a little hard to say, but it looks like, unless there was something that I misinterpreted, it sounded like, at least looking at Hirakti and maybe some other characters that Ash has, or not Ash, Yugi, sorry. Hopefully I'm not, you know, mixing up the names too much. But as far as Yugi, it looks like overall he's got stronger cards or stronger monsters more so. And then there's the abilities. I was a little, you know, intrigued by the whole soul stuff that they were talking about with Ash. Especially, like, obviously there's Gengar, you know, kind of like interacting with souls and all that a little bit, but there was also some other stuff about like some soul. Was there like any soul protection outright? Because I know there was the stuff about like the spirit realm and all that. I think like some interacting with souls. But then with Yugi's side, they went so much further regarding soul manipulation and soul interaction. Like even just being able to destroy souls, rip out your soul, seal souls away, all of that stuff. Like that seems like I don't know if Ash can defend against literally all of that. And then we have the fact that Yugi can just like resurrect at least some of his monsters, and he can, reflect attack damage outright. Whereas with Pikachu and probably some other characters, they can like reflect attacks, but I'm not sure if that applies to literally any kind of attack, especially not like regardless of strength. But for Yugi, it looks like with Dark Magician Girl, and like Dark Magician Girl and the magical cylinder or whatever it was, that can just reflect attack damage outright. So that seems a lot more sturdy, right? Like a lot more all-encompassing to attacks. And again, with the whole Swords of Revealing Light, that can just briefly prevent, Ash's Pokemon from attacking, at least, momentarily. Like, a lot of this still feels like there's stuff that Ash can't really get around. And again, with the whole rigged game stuff, I think they really only brought it up, like, at the beginning, but there's the whole, like, the punishments. Like, a lot of that stuff seems like with the whole illusions, like there is mental resistances that Ash and at least some of his Pokemon have, but again with like mental destruction and all of that, like I don't think just because Ash can resist some mental trickery, I don't think that means he could just prevent his own mind from being destroyed if it was attacked directly. And then there's the whole thing that Ash feels the pain, like with the whole like Greninja Ash fusion or whatever that was. The fact that Ash can feel the pain, I don't think is really good. And I don't know if they talked about it in here, but I'm pretty sure Yugi has ways of like protecting his own life points. Like I'm pretty sure there's something where like if he discards Kuribo, I know there's the whole multiplication thing, but aside from that, if he discards Kuribo, then the attack or the damage done to his own life points is basically like undone. So I don't know if they talked about that much, but it kind of feels like Yugi himself just has more protection. And I feel like Yugi kind of has to die in order for him to lose. Not to say that he couldn't, ever be killed by Ash given the right circumstances, but again, there was so much information in there that I'm sure there's stuff that I'm missing. I'm sure there's stuff that they're going to bring up in the reasoning that I'm missing. But right now, I still kind of want to side with Yugi for this. I still think his abilities are just more all-encompassing, and it seems like he has more power at his disposal overall. Again, though, maybe if they really lean heavy in Ash's speed and saying that he's actually a lot faster or his side is a lot faster, then I guess theoretically he could win, and if he has the proper resistances as well. But I kind of just feel like Yugi's side is a more well-rounded machine, I guess, like more well-rounded side. It seems like they just have so many aspects that are hard to counter, and there's not really a weak point that I'm seeing with them, So I'm thinking Yugi's gonna win this, but, again, it depends on the reasoning that they give out. So let's watch the battle. Oh! Very cool. Hey, Dark Magician, this is how we're starting? Whoa. And then we transition into this. That's cool. And yeah, we don't really need context for why they're fighting. It's pretty obvious.
You okay, Pikachu? This 4-on-4 is tricky. Hang in there.
You have Spirit, but I have Lightning Blade and Excalibur to boost my attack. And I set one
You always gotta say exactly what you're doing.
Whoa. Okay, guys, it's our turn now. Pikachu, throw him off with quick attack. Everyone else, back him up.
Yeah, Ash can still strategize in a way, but Yugi's traps I feel like might be too much.
Great job. Now, Thunderbolt.
Don't get ahead of yourself. You forgot about my face down card. Rise, Dimension.
God, this script is so fun. Ooh, that was a cool couple of frames. Oh no! No more surfing the alligator.
Brought 'em all. right, Pikachu?
What do you mean, them all?
Oh my god, they're actually including the bulls. Oh, time to lock in.
Charizard, I choose you!
Hi, Charizard. Seen you a couple times before. Okay, yep, we're getting a look at the life points. Kuribo! God, so much going on. Well done, Incineroar. He's run. Is Charizard big enough to run? I mean, I guess for Ash maybe he is. Yeah, Lucario's a powerhouse too, especially with the Mega Evolution. So cool seeing all these characters. Oh! You okay? Solgaleo, that's Solgaleo, right? Oh boy. Jeez, look how big that is. Very cool models. The track is also popping off too. Gengar! You gonna eat anybody? In a way, I guess. But he counts as a spirit, right? That he could seal away. Oh. Oh. Oh, Greninja? Oh. That's not good at all.
I'm sorry, partner. Don't worry. It's my turn now.
Right. Okay, come on, Yugi. Let's see what you got.
I just need to believe in the heart of the cards.
Yes, you do. Dark Magicians. Yep, all the gods.
Who's that Pokemon?
Haroxy!
Oh, here we go.
This is it.
I mean, if this isn't where it ends,
Burning magic. Haroxy!
kind of sounds like Ash could bring it back from this then. And just kill everybody else? Not quite. Oh, swords. I mean, oh no.
Pikachu, let's finish this together.
Okay. That was pretty cool. Does this work?
You activated my trap card.
Oh, did you?
With it, I'll send your Thunderbolt back to
Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. Damn, that sucks to see, man.
That was an awesome duel, Ash.
It was. The end? Wow. Very satisfying to see the end for once.
My childhood. Whiz, quick! I need your tears. We can save him.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
we
to this,
can,
so
yeah.
Let's break it down by experience,
Damn, that's
strategy,
it's-
and monsters. Starting with experience.
I'll talk afterwards,
Both
but
Ash and
damn.
Yugi have risen to the top, beating the best of the best, and traveled all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
But Ash traveled more, was in more tourneys, and saved the world way
Oh,
more
yeah,
often.
yeah, yeah.
And despite what people say, he wins a lot.
Even Atem's stint as the Pharaoh doesn't tip the scale, since he wasn't in charge for very long. Plus,
More experience
Pokemon
than a
evolve over
goddamn
time,
pharaoh.
literally and figuratively. While Yugi's deck is obviously adjustable, the cards are unchanging, unable to grow like Ash's Pokemon.
Right.
So Ash wins in experience, but when it comes to strategy, he's a wild card.
He's
Yeah.
skilled at improvisation and using the environment
Like,
to win.
he's good.
Even machines cannot comprehend his
Yeah.
tactics.
But the
But
same goes
Yugi
for
just does
Yugi.
stuff
Gotta
differently.
remember, Yugi and Atem's teamwork is second to none. They're masters at exploiting weaknesses, setting up tricks, and surprising foes with so-called weak cards.
Yeah.
Both could likely adjust
I mean,
to
Ash
each other's
is not gonna know what's weak, but
so a
yeah.
Dark Horse style win was unlikely.
But Ash's secret weapon is his bond with his Pokemon, boosting their power. I'm not just talking about Pikachu.
No.
His power of friendship invented an evolution
Yeah,
from
I mean,
ninja.
that's really
crazy.
hardcore, man.
Ash's trust in his Pokemon knows no limits.
Silly as it may sound, Yugi trusts his deck in the same way. The heart of the cards is real, and Yugi is determined to support his monsters with spells, traps, and buffs. Look at his duels with Merrick and Paradox, where he bolstered his weaker cards to take down gods.
Yeah.
With Ba and Ka, his
Overall,
bonds
it's
with
just a
cards
greater amount of
manifest them
power.
into reality, not so dissimilar from Ash Greninja.
Yeah, Ash has aura, but he never mastered it. And specialties like Mega Evolution and Gigantamax, while awesome, only work with specific Pokemon.
Yeah.
And since Ash focuses on offense far more than support, Yugi could control the pace of the fight with
And then cards like
Swords
that
of
as
Revealing
well,
Light and
yeah.
Magic Cylinder.
But I know some of you are asking, what if Ash threw hands? The kid's strong enough
They have to
fight
address
trees and
this.
lift baby gods. Just
Even if it
punch
doesn't
him,
really
man.
matter.
Well, Yugi's similarly tough, and the Millennium
Yeah,
Puzzle can
durability-wise,
make shields, steal
he's
ghosts,
impressive.
cast illusions, and mess with minds. If Ash actually tried to punch him, it'd be Mewtwo all over again.
It's a close call, but Yugi takes the edge in
And then we get
strategy.
monsters.
So it all comes down to the monsters. Yugi had a slightly larger pool of monsters, but Ashes can clear out island-wide storms, fight terraforming beasts, and are stronger than the black hole summoning Gardevoir.
However, Yugi's can rain down meteors, compete with larger black holes,
Okay.
and even the mid-tier scale to glow Neos.
Well, that's what I was
destroying
saying, yeah, even the
relatively
weak-
field
some of
with
the weaker
universe.
ones.
And Herakti created Yu-Gi-Oh's whole multiverse, surpassing even Solgaleo's Sunsteel Strike and Dialga's Roar of Time.
I wasn't even sure they were going to include it, like Herakti, because it's so powerful.
Ash's strength was also his weakness. His power was evenly spread, reliant only on his remaining Pokemon.
If Mr. Mime faints, no more psychic barriers.
This is
If
something
he
I
lets
brought up in my
Lucario,
prediction,
no more
too.
Mega Evolution, and so on.
Yeah,
The longer the
specific
battle wins,
Pokemon
the
need to
less
do
Pokemon
specific
Ash
things.
has, and he did not have a reliable way to bring them back. He doesn't carry revives on him, and even then, reviving Pokemon in the anime is entirely different from the games.
That's
Meanwhile,
fair.
Yugi had cards like Mirage Ruler and Monster
Yep.
Reborn that could instantly recall powers he's lost.
And he can, bend fate to draw whatever card he wants. And we didn't even cover them all. Really, Yugi's deck has no pathetic cards.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
just
Yugi's
way more
versatility
well-rounded.
and power swept Ash's options, giving his monsters the lead. He just needed the right moment to knock Ash stone cold.
That was a
Hey.
good attempt at a pun, Wiz. Might not think it's Pharaoh, but Ash got Yugi owned.
The winner
Very,
is
very
Yugi
good.
Moto.
Well done, Yugi. Thanks for watching. More fights are coming, so we'll be back with even more death battles!
Death Battle will be back in 2026. But right now, you can check out our brand new channel.
Okay.
It's called Nightly Brew, and we're playing Dungeons & Dragons, Blood on the Clock Tower, and other games that'll probably blow up in our face.
That's cool.
So check it out right now, and make sure to subscribe.
Oh, we got a little
Thanks.
more? Oh, I don't think it's anything. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I didn't really expect them to announce anything at the end of this, because the only time where they've announced, like, the direct next time of a death battle, like, at the end of a year was, I think, like, Among Us versus Fall Guys. And that, I think, was just because they only did 4 episodes that year, and, they want to be like, okay, yeah, we'll tell you the next time, for when Independent Death Battle continues. But now they're taking a bit of a break. I think they're going to be starting in, like, the beginning of February or something. So I didn't expect them to reveal anything. If anything, I thought maybe there would be a little thing for the Champions Island winner, which, if you don't know, is Kamen Rider Geats versus Saber Nero Claudius. So that's going to be an episode presumably in 2026. They said that it's not going to come out anytime soon, but I'd imagine they probably want to get it done before, like, the next champion event ends, like, assuming that they are going to do one every year. So, we'll see, though. That's one of them that's going to be next year, along with Aang versus Traveler from Genshin Impact, Aang from Avatar, Gru versus Megamind, and Light versus Columbo as some kind of bonus thing, unofficial episode. They're being a little weird with how they're describing it, but something like that, right? So we know of a few things coming next year, but I'm kind of happy that, like, that's all we know right now. Maybe, like, a couple character teases could have been cool, but, like, we already know enough, I think. So it's all right. We don't need anything like that. But yeah, we just have to look forward to the next year then. As far as this battle goes, man, this was a roller coaster. So many, characters being used, so many models to throw in there. I think, maybe they could have stretched it out a little longer, but the style of it definitely helped. And with all the characters, the escalation was basically as good as it needed to be. Like, they started using stronger characters as the battle kept going. Like, that's a very easy way to work in the escalation. And with Herakti, they actually kind of got me, because I'm like, if Herakti's being pulled out this early, like, are Ash and Pikachu going to turn it around? And when I say this early, I mean, like, before the biggest stuff that Ash does, right? Because I thought, if anything, like, it was going to be Herakti shows up and then that's the end, if Yugi wins, right? So the fact that it was a little earlier than the end of the battle, and I was able to pick up on that just based on the general pacing, I'm like, is Ash actually going to turn it around? But yeah, the ending is so... Even as someone who, is not huge on Pokemon or anything, or not as huge as other people, like, to see all of them, turn to stone and all that, like, it does hurt a little bit. It definitely does. I can't even imagine how it would feel to, people who grew up with Pokemon, like, this is their main series, right? And there was definitely a lot of stuff to fit in the conclusion. Generally, I think they did a good job with it. Obviously, there's more stuff they can talk about on both sides. I was especially thinking, like, well, there's more that Yugi has, that he can do this and this and this, but, like, maybe they didn't need to go over all of it. It's fine. They even said, there's a bunch of cards and stuff that they didn't even talk about. And even with the weak cards, Yugi knows how to use them in ways that are either really impressive or they can contend with the stronger stuff. And yeah, with the whole, like, mid-tier monsters being able to do, the things that they're able to do, it's like, it just kind of feels like Yu-Gi-Oh has a stronger selection of monsters. And yes, the experience definitely would help Ash as far as, like, just being in battles. He knows what strategies work for him. He's never fought someone quite like Yugi, but Yugi's never fought someone quite like Ash before, right? So the general strategy, I think that would help Ash, at least to start. But I think, obviously, like, as things progress and, the monsters get stronger and stronger, it just tipped it more for Yugi. And Ash is a decent strategist when he really needs to be. His playstyle apparently is so unorthodox that the robot blows up or whatever. But Yugi, if he has the time to do what he needs to do, then yeah, that strategy is just unmatched. So that makes perfect sense to me. Again, there's a lot of stuff I'm going to want to rewatch really to make sure of all of this, and then I'll have a more thorough review when we do the podcast episode next week. But as far as all this, the reasoning makes enough sense to me, at least as far as their interpretations of it, because there's always ways that you can interpret characters like this, right? So, that makes enough sense. As far as, like, their power goes, probably their speed as well. But it really was, like, just the general abilities and the strength of the monsters that it's really hard to come back from that, unless, again, you have some really busted resistances, or, you're so much faster, but clearly, Deathbattle didn't interpret it like that. And the analyses were cool. I thought they were actually decently funny, so I think they would probably be even funnier to people who, again, are, like, really invested in these series. So I thought the analyses were cool. A lot of information thrown at once, but I don't really think there was anything they could have done to avoid that, because there's just so much going on, so I can't really fault them for that. And yeah, just a lot of good information. It very much felt like they were trying to, be the most fair to these characters, what they're actually able to do. And, some people may have disagreements about what they should or should not have included, that they did or did not include, but, whatever. I enjoyed it. I think they believe in their own setup that they came up with. Like, they believe that is the most fair thing to do. And, that's really what I have to respect, right? So really fun fight, really solid 3D models for basically every character. A lot of people felt like they had their chance to shine. Maybe not, like, solely, like, maybe there was some where it's like, it's just in the background. You kind of see them for a little bit. They don't get to do that much, but I think that's still way better than nothing. Like, for the length of the fight that it was, and for how many creatures they have, I like to think that a lot of people were able to appreciate what Deathbattle was able to do and allocate towards the creatures, right? So, I'm perfectly satisfied with all that. So yeah, no, this was an event. This was definitely an event, and I really hope that for the people where this is, like, super duper special to them, that it really lived up to your expectations. Because even to me, like, someone who's not huge into these series, I thought this kicked ass. I really did, like, so many episodes of this year and last year, like since Independent Death Battle, have just knocked it out of the park, right? So I'm really happy that Ash versus Yugi was also able to do so, at least in my opinion. You can let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more from the channel. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.